So one of my favorite things to do in this world is to go to Lisbon and then eat bifanas. Bifanas are like the best late night sandwich that could ever be, probably in the whole world. They're just greasy pork goodness. However, if there's an Achilles heel to the bifana, it's that the bread's kind of lackluster. It's always this like really hard, dry Portuguese roll. Of course they love it, but I think we can do better. So we're gonna go a few hundred miles away. We're gonna go to Italy. We're gonna grab some focaccia bread. We're gonna take that. We're gonna make a bifana with focaccia. And the thing about a bifana is that it's a really simple sandwich. It's literally bread, pork, and bread. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's the way the pork is cooked that makes it what it is. I've never actually made one before. I've made something like it, so we're gonna try a version of it. We're gonna do an Italian kind of version. So start off by throwing a bunch of vegetable oil in a large pot, then put in a bunch of onions, bunch of garlic. If you're afraid of cooking with a lot of garlic, then I don't want to know you and I don't have respect for you. I once heard a story about a person who didn't use a lot of garlic when they cooked, and they were laughed out of their village. Actually, it was my village. They were laughed out of my village. This is the point when you put everything in, and then after a few minutes, someone else in the room is gonna go,
"It smells really good. Wow, that smells really good."
It's just garlic and onions. Next, we're gonna put in 2 cans of beer, and you wanna use a light lager. However, don't use Budweiser, don't use Coors. You wanna use something that actually tastes good. In Portugal, they would use Sagres or Superbock. Those are actually the 2 most popular ones. I couldn't find those at, well, okay, I didn't look very hard, but at my supermarket, the closest thing I could find was Tecate. Next, throw in some tomato puree, and then start putting in your spices. They don't necessarily use smoked paprika when making bifanas. However, that was all I had, so that's what I was going with. A ton of pepper, of course, and then throw in a ton of hot sauce. In a perfect world, you're using piri piri. However, I didn't have that. All we had was Frank's Red Hot. I'm sure that's fine. For the meat, I took a bunch of pork chops and cut the bones off of them. I took the bones and put them in the sauce at this point, and I just let those go for about 20 minutes. This was so that all that fat that's on the bone starts to fall off, gets into the sauce, melts, and really just kind of flavors everything. Then I pounded out the fillets. Pounded out the fillets. Oh my God. This. Once I put the meat in, I let it cook for about 30 minutes. So for the bread, I took the focaccia and cut it in half, and then I spilled like way too much olive oil all over it, threw on some rosemary, and put it in the oven on like 325 for about 10 minutes, I think. It might have been 5 minutes, might have been 10, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Take that out, throw the meat on it, and then that's it. That's the only way you put a sandwich together, is just by putting the meat on the bread. There's no other steps. It's a bifana. There's like 1 ingredient. There's like 2 ingredients, like bread and meat, that's it. It literally sounds like the most boring sandwich in the world until you actually try them. Go to Lisbon. I think Tap Portugal always has good deals. You can do like a layover, extended layover. Go to Bairro Alto and go eat a bifana. It's great. Immediately I'm noticing that it's not on that garbage Portuguese dry roll. So I'm already liking it better so far, just visually. I really caked this focaccia in olive oil. That was an accident, but it's not bad looking. You know what this needs? I know. It needs more goop, some sort of goop, some sort of liquid to kind of, yeah. Okay, so the sauce is incredible. It's just like a greasy tomato, paprika, spicy goodness. That's the classic bifana sauce. That's what I love, that's what I know. And then the rosemary on the focaccia is perfect. It goes perfectly with the spices. Want to know the best part about this? Listen to this. Look at that. Clean plate club. Let me know what you want me to do next. Leave it in the comments, and listen. If you've enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the last video, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? I could really use you. Just go ahead and subscribe. What the heck are you waiting for? Go subscribe.